I'm going to tell you guys what they're talking about. I'll go into emotional abuse. I'll do a whole series about their forms of emotional abuse and why, if this is any sort of program, it's an emotionally abusive program. And I'm going to title this, This is an Emotionally Abusive Program. I'm not going to use comments for thumbnails anymore. I'm going just to using either letting YouTube select them. If you see some of the choices I have, if I choose the shots that YouTube offers and my face looks like, and I choose that one, it's because that was really the best one. Some of them are so bad that the best one is like the out of the out of the worst ones, the best one is still the worst one. Anyway, so starting off with how what they're talking about. They seem to be talking about a lot of different things. They're upset because they feel that what they're saying out loud, like they said that this is mainly a group of gay people in New York who are Jewish. If you're saying it out loud, why is it upsetting for people to know it if you're saying it? I would think that if you don't say it, it would be better. So they always say that I say too much. I think they do. And what I feel is this. I feel that they say too much to they said they were doing it to confuse. But I think what they do is they say too much in order to get an emotional response, which is a form of emotional abuse. So emotional abuse is when someone does something to you that's abusive and it hurts you, and even if you say that really hurts me, please don't do it, they still do it. So what they were talking about is like every time they do something emotionally abusive, they try to turn it on me. Like, didn't you do that? Is another form of emotional abuse. So that's another form of emotional abuse. If I say to you, please don't do such and such because that really bothers me, and you say, well, you always do that to me, blah, blah, blah. That is a form of emotional abuse because it's they don't want to accept what they're doing is hurtful. Another big deal is I have on a playlist of gang stalking other people's V2K, and I like to let you guys hear other people's V2K. And when I find something, I'm like, oh, let me put that in a description. So I'll find a video to put in the description of someone else who's experiencing it. And I think why it's emotional abuse is because someone left a really good comment. I said I'm not going to use comments as thumbnails, but I asked, what is the siren sound? He gets the siren sound. I got the siren sound a lot. And in one of my videos, I said that they said it was about when one of their group is arrested. But he said it's about fear. It's supposed to make you feel fear. So I'm going to, I have no way now of kind of figuring out how to do um, a comment that I want you guys to see. But what I think what I'll do is put up the comment for the thumbnail for a short amount of time. So I will use his comment as a thumbnail for a short amount of time so that you can, if you watch this video, you know what I'm referring to, and then I'll remove it. But the whole point is that is a form of emotional abuse. If we are dealing with a program that triggers emotions in people, which is part of what I was saying when we talked about how they said if you target someone's back of the head, that controls your emotional behavior. If they are coming up with a way to make you fearful, make you angry, make you sad, make you happy, make you laugh at a certain time, it's not just the emotional abuse, it's a sign of mental illness. So, this whole program I want exposed as I go through this situation, and they wanted me to go upstairs or go this place, go that place. It's again about control, but as I go through it, I'm wondering, is it better for me to just expose it than to get angry, feel fear, feel sadness? Yeah, I think it is. I think it's better to feel the emotion, link the emotion to what is going on, the emotional abuse in addition to the physical, but then expose it as opposed to letting them lead me into their usual trap of getting victims to do something we don't want to do. So for just a short amount of time, I'll put up the comment And then in the description, I'll link what the comments said that sirens are connected to fear. And then I'll take it down and use one of the ugly pictures of myself. So you'll notice a lot of the thumbnails I'll start taking down. I'll leave some comments up, but I'll start taking a lot of comments down. The other big deal I wanted to talk to you about what they're telling me is, why is it so important to them to keep putting out whatever group they're in? Do I believe that this involves all people? No. Do I think it's a group of people who wanted some sort of personal um, attack on me? Yes. And when I talked about it in a video, and I'm going to link that video where I said how I knew it was them, they kept using the F word for gay people. And then they claimed I used it. And I usually don't use that word. I don't have any occasion to use that word. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like there was somebody I would have called that word. So they accused me of using, and I'm thinking, like, why are they accusing me? Not realizing that they're talking amongst themselves also. So I'm thinking everything they're saying in my apartment with my name, like, it's not just talking. It's like Shamega, Shamega, Shamega. Like, oh, and you did this. And so I'm thinking, yeah, now I realize that had this worked the way they thought it would, my memory wouldn't be good enough to know I didn't do it. The only way I knew I didn't use the F word for gay people is that's not who I am. So when I finally said, you said this F word, and I used it, and then I used it again, and I used it, they got so angry. So then I was like, well, someone must be gay. And it turns out someone in the group is gay. Someone in the group is white. Someone in the group is Jewish. Someone in the group is Latino. They said I used the S word for Latinos. Again, a word I wouldn't use. Turns out their parent used it. So when we were going back and forth in this arguing, because at one point they were out loud talking and recordable, and I was arguing with them, and that's how I knew this isn't a computer program. Someone else left a comment again. I wish I could keep all these comments up, where he was like, I think it's a male, it's pre-recorded. No, it was in real time, and we're arguing back and forth. And in one point when I'm arguing back and forth with them, I'll see if I can find a video where what I'm saying, because I don't want to go off into that. But they thought my memory wouldn't be good enough. But these aren't things I would normally say. So why would I suddenly say it after being hit in the head? You know what I mean? Like, I'm being emotionally abused, physically abused, my face gets all big, and then I become a crazy person? Isn't that what I'm trying to prove? So every day they prove what I'm trying to prove in a way that I could never prove. It had to come from them directly. It's not good enough for me to tell you. You have to experience it. When I'm going back on videos where they claim I did something in a video that I clearly didn't do. Oh, they talked about my voice. They said they didn't like my voice because of my accent. I was born with this accent. They said I have a tone that's like a white person. I do not have, no offense to white people, but I don't have a white person tone. They said my voice goes different ways. And now that I'm sick, it could be connected to it. Yeah, that's what I've been saying all along. Like, I've been saying all along that there's something wrong. I've even had videos way before where I talked about my voice. And now we're talking about it as an issue. That's part of what I'm saying. The part of the emotional abuse is going over the same things over and over again. Could you imagine being in a relationship with someone and you keep bringing up something that happened decades ago